Hello, I'm Rob Phillips, and welcome to my channel. As a yin yoga teacher, I would say that many, perhaps even most of my students come to class with the feeling that there's something they need to let go of, or something they're holding on to that's keeping them stuck in resistance. For today's practice, I'm going to take that idea and essentially flip it around. I'm going to invite the possibility that the space we want, the calm that we all seek, is actually already here. And practice becomes about creating the right conditions to recognize that, to tune into it. So physically, this sequence is going to be mostly focusing on twisting poses. It's going to be 30 minutes long. For props, I'm going to recommend that you have a blanket and a couple of blocks. Finally, I do have a newsletter, so if you'd like to stay in touch, please consider signing up in the link down below. Otherwise, let's start here in a comfortable seat. Consider sitting up on a blanket or any props that you would like. Hands can rest onto the lap or onto the thighs. And take a moment to lift through the spine, soften the shoulders. Finally, close your eyes here. And so as we get started here, can you begin by simply noticing whatever's showing up, whatever's here? Feel a sense of the body, feel a sense of your alignment. And inviting a softening physically here, relaxing the eyebrows, relaxing the shoulders, feeling that physical space start to open up. But just notice as we sit here, as we drop into our practice, even if there is a sense of physical tension, even if the mind feels a little bit busy, just by slowing down, just by making this space, we tune into something beneath all of that. We tune into the natural stillness that's already here. And so just sit with that for a few more moments here. No place we're trying to get to, nothing we're trying to shift. Just resting really with things as they naturally are. We can take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. A gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Slowly drop down the chin and slowly open the eyes. From here, we're going to begin our main sequence in a wide-kneed child's pose. So start to find your way there. You can lift yourself up. Take a blanket or some other cushion. Here you can open it nice and wide, fold it over a second time if you would like. If you don't have a blanket, you can also use your mat for padding, maybe even turning sideways on it if you'd prefer. So cushion the knees here, start to separate the thighs wide enough that you feel a bit of a stretch, a bit of release happening onto that inner line of the legs. We'll be twisting here, so thread your left arm underneath. From there, the right arm could continue to rest forwards, or if you'd like, could hook that arm around the back. Relaxing the body, settling in here to this very first pose. And just a reminder as we start the physical practice to honor the feedback that the body gives you. We'll certainly feel the effects of these poses, but we should never feel pain. We should never feel sharp or aggressive sensations. If you feel anything at all like that, listen to that feedback and back out or adjust as you need to. Keep the body safe. Keep the body at ease here. And as you settle in here, can we start to notice? Body will physically release as we slow down, as we linger in the pose. Nervous system will begin to calm down. Start to notice the space in our thoughts. When we give ourselves permission to simply be here, when we create these right conditions of our practice, we tune into the calm that is actually already here. For another, let's take just one more complete breath. Slowly begin to wind back into the center, and I'm going to encourage you to take the legs back. Rest here on the belly. You could have your forehead on your hands. You could also take your arms back and flip over onto your other side cheek. But come into a neutral shape here and feel the reset in the body. Feel the release or the echo of what you just did. Finding that sense of space can be a little bit easier in these neutral poses. There's like a contrast from where we just were. But again, what we're practicing is recognizing the space that's actually always here. For now, let's set up for the second half of that wide-kneed child's pose. So let's press the hips back. Again, pad your knees onto your blanket here. Give yourself that bit of a cushion. Separate the thighs a little bit wide here. And then this time, of course, now we'll be taking our right arm underneath. So when you're ready to, you can thread that right shoulder resting on the cheek and the outer arm. Left arm could remain forwards, or left arm could hook around your back, depending on what feels right here. Again, you will certainly feel the pose. It's doing work with the body. But be really careful to not ask too much of it. And then here, as you rest into the pose, as you settle into this experience, can you allow the possibility of simply being here? The peace that we want, the calm that we seek is actually already here. We just need to allow ourselves to slow down enough to really recognize that. Keep resting the awareness in the physical. Keep noticing what shows up for you. For now, though, here, let's take just one more complete breath. Slowly unwind the shape here. We're going to extend all the way onto our belly, but this time you might consider getting rid of your blanket, and please bring a block up to the front of your mat. Again, you could rest with the arms by your side on your cheek, or if you prefer, you could rest with your forehead on the hands, but let's take a nice pause here. And while you're here, can you feel the sense of calm? Can you feel the sense of space physically opening up in the body? Take a few deep breaths here to rest in that, to really settle into that. And take a nice long inhale breath through your nose. And take a long exhale breath out your mouth. And stay here on our belly, rising up onto the elbows. We're setting up into a Sphinx pose. And so for the variation I'm going to invite today, I encourage you to grab your block, rest the forehead onto it so the shoulders get a bit of release. Now, keep in mind, you can adjust the spacing, the alignment, make sure this feels comfortable. And if you don't have a block or you just don't want to use the block, you can always just kind of rest as you are. Now, as I said, this is a twist-focused sequence, but that doesn't mean we want to only twist. We need to take some more neutral shapes, let the spine settle, just as we are here. And so here, while you're here, relaxing the body into the pose, settling here into this experience. Noticing the simplicity of just being. Noticing the stillness that's naturally here. You can take a final complete breath, just like you are. Slowly release down to the floor, and again, as you release down, take a few deep breaths. Feel as the energy flows through the shoulders, flows through the spine and the upper back. Again, really feel the calm that's already here. And take a nice deep inhale breath through your nose. Open up the mouth to exhale and let it go. Use your hands as you exhale, gently press the hips back. Passing briefly through child's pose to help transition, to help reset here. From here, and slowly start to sit yourself up, start to lift yourself up, and we'll set up for where we are going next. So we'll be setting up for a variation of dragon pose, our low lunge pose. So highly recommend that you grab a blanket, grab a couple blocks. You may or may not use them, but good to have them in case you decide you want them. We'll step our right foot forwards here, and remember kind of the basics for dragon lunge. You want that knee aligned directly over the heel. You want a solid foundation. I do have a tutorial of dragon pose in my library if you need a little more kind of deep guidance on that. Now you could certainly just stay like this, but since we're twisting today, if you'd like, consider resting the right hand onto that thigh. You can even turn the head so that you're almost like looking behind you if that feels comfortable, and just notice as the alignment shifts how that affects where you'll feel the pose. Some folks may want to drop down onto their elbows, but whatever you choose here, again, intensity is not what we're aiming for. This pose, especially this variation, will require a bit of effort. But try to let go of every bit of extra effort that you don't need. And maybe even here, can you notice the moments of calm? Can you notice the moments of connection? Can you notice whatever sense of ease is already here? Even beneath any turbulence that might be showing up. Let's take a final complete breath right here. Carefully wind your way back to face center. Release the right leg back. Could feel nice to move, to sway or shake things out. And I'm going to rest for a minute or so here in child's pose. You could rest on your belly if that's more comfortable, but give the body a chance here to neutralize, to even out. And take a few deep breaths. Feel the energy circulate. Feel the energy as it flows through here. And take a deep inhale breath through your nose. A big exhale breath out your mouth. Slowly begin to rise up, coming away from the floor, and we'll set up for the second side of that. So again, blocks can be nice as you get situated here. Step your left foot up and find that deep low lunge. Left knee is aligned over the heel. We're shifting the weight so we feel that stretch, but nothing too much, nothing too intense here. Either staying like this, or maybe resting the left hand on the thigh. You can even kind of turn the head looking almost behind you here. Can really dial in that pose. This pose is challenging for pretty much everybody, including myself. But as I keep coming back to, can you find that place where you're doing just what is needed, where you're engaging just enough to maintain? But letting go of all the rest beyond that. And then within that, noticing these moments of ease. These moments of calm connection within it. Calm is already here if we let ourselves see it. Take a final complete breath right there. Carefully wind your way out of the pose, and again, on your way out, I encourage you to move, to shift, reset so that it feels right. And find a neutral shape. Again, I'm going to rest in child's pose. That works well, as could resting on the belly, but feel how the body responds. Feel any sense of echo or resonance here, and take a few deep breaths through that. Really let the energy kind of rebalance in your system. Take a nice deep inhale breath through your nose. Take a long exhale breath out your mouth. From here, you can slowly begin to rise up. And we're going to find our way onto our back. But first, I want us to do a little bit of a prep. So you can take a yoga block here and just kind of drape your blanket over it. If you don't have a blanket or whatever, you can just use your yoga block as well. But you're going to want some sort of cushion for that, or some sort of support rather. If you have a bolster, that might work even better. So you can grab that if that's in your toolkit here. But to start out, we'll lie down flat on your back. Let's take a little pause, feel the spine settle. Feel the body neutralize here for a few moments. From here, let's set up. We'll walk both feet in so that the knees are bent. Grab your prop here. Lift the hips up and slide that block or a cushion, pillow, whatever you're using to lift the hips, slide that right underneath the back of the pelvis so that you're in a stable, really supported bridge pose. And here I'd like to give you two options that you could consider. You could stay like this with the feet on the floor, or you could extend the legs up into the ceiling to come into seagrass pose, basically like yin yoga's version of shoulder stand. Now, unlike shoulder stand, most of the weight is still going to be on the hips, and that block should have a restful quality to it. And if you try this and it doesn't feel restful, doesn't feel calm, just try the version with the feet on the floor, of course. Can you rest just here as you are? Can you be simply here in this experience? Can you feel the calm that's always here. Now take a final complete breath like you are. And if the legs are lifted, slowly lower the feet down. Everyone from there, carefully lift up the hips, remove your prop, and slide all the way to the floor. And I'm going to recommend that you keep the feet like gently planted here. Walk the feet a little wide, maybe so that the knees fall in, and just rest in this neutral pose for a few breaths. Feel the spine settle, feel the energy drop down just a bit more. Now from here, we did so much deep twisting in our main sequence that for our final twists, we're going to do just much shorter ones, more like gentle ones. So with the feet kind of wide like this, you can come into just an easy sway back and forth. Adjust the legs so that this feels nice. Should feel no like weirdness in the knees. Shouldn't feel like you're doing anything uncomfortable, right? Next time the knees make that trip over to the right, just let them linger there for about 5 breaths or so. So a relatively short hold. Just evening out the body, really neutralizing here. Just flip this over for our second side. Just come back into that sway for a few passes back and forth. Free up the lower back, free up the side body, and then as the legs move back over to the left side, again, let them linger there, and we'll be here about like 5 breaths or so. Just a subtle twist after a sequence that had so much deeper twists earlier on. Final moment here to feel that, and just slowly wind the legs in. Take a few final shifts here back and forth, even that all out for yourself. And then from here, you can extend the legs long onto the floor. Open the arms out, the feet out, set up for a final Shavasana. Body nice and neutral. Take a deep inhale breath through your nose. Open up your mouth to exhale and let absolutely everything go for these last couple of minutes. So please just take a final few moments on your back as you are and notice what has settled and rebalanced through those last few minutes. Let the breath deepen, let the energy start to build back up again. So that when you're ready to, you can slowly roll onto your side, press back up into a comfortable seat, and close your eyes there. Feeling all the effects of the practice on the body and mind here in this moment. And joining your hands in front of the heart. So again, and as always, my deep thanks to each of you for sharing your practice. And may our practice bring benefit to all beings. And we bow. So again, thank you so very much for joining. And of course, if you have any thoughts, questions, or observations, anything at all, please let me know in the comments down below.